Hey everyone, my name's James, and if you want to work in music, there is one thing you need that work and school just can't offer. You may have heard me say this in other videos, but I'm a college graduate who's been working full-time in the music industry for the last decade. I don't say that to brag or boast, but just to tell you where I come from, because what I've learned is that my college degree has had very little bearing on my career in the music industry. It certainly got me into meetings, it helped me in understanding the very bare basics of the industry, but that's not the reason that I have a job today. In fact, of the over 230 people that I graduated with, all of whom had degrees in music business, less than 25 of us work full-time in the industry today. And if you expand those parameters to include freelancers and people working part-time, that number is still below 50. That's less than a quarter of the people that I graduated with who work in the industry that they sought after. And you have to remember that there are dozens of schools offering similar degrees all over the country, and probably hundreds if you go all the way around the world. Now, I don't say all those things to make you feel bad about choosing to go after school or to turn you away from the idea of higher education, because I think it can be useful. But you have to understand the circumstances of the situation. There are thousands, if not tens of thousands of people, all of whom dream of working in the music industry, and there's only a finite amount of jobs. If you want to get ahead of the competition, experience and education alone are often not enough, but there is one thing that I know every single employer in music is looking for. And just to tell you that I'm not just making this up, talking out of thin air, in the last month I've had meetings with Pure Noise Records, Concord Music Group, Metal Blade, Prosthetic Records, as well as dozens of publicists and other people in the industry, asking every single one of them what they look for when they're looking for interns or new hires or people that they want to work with. And surprisingly, there is one thing that ran through every single one of those conversations. And I hope you're not looking for like some magic potion that's going to just make everything easy because you do this one thing, but it's something that is absolutely essential to the job. What you need and what every employer is looking for is passion. And I know that you're thinking, I love music. Everyone I know loves music. Pretty much everyone on the planet likes music to some extent. But the passion I'm referring to is something a little bit deeper. Passion for the music business is not the same thing as passion for music. You might like pop punk and you might dream of working with pop punk bands, but how do you feel about the realities of the job of working in music? I'm talking 50 to 60 hour work weeks. I'm talking about late night phone calls and late night emails and early morning errands that you have to run to make sure the band can get their passports so that they can go to another country. Working in music is work. It's the music business after all, and that business part is a huge element of the job. It is not a party. It is not anything that you've seen in movies about these lavish lifestyles. Most people working in music make a modest living, if that, and they work very long, tiring hours to make it happen. So you need to have passion, because at the end of the day, or in the early morning when you've been up all night trying to get a new development out for that startup you work for, or trying to ensure that the single that you're trying to premiere the next day has all the assets in place, passion is what's going to keep you going. It's stronger than coffee, and it means a lot more when you go in for job interviews. But how do we define passion? I mean, we have the definition from the Webster's Dictionary here at the bottom of the screen, but it doesn't really get across what I'm trying to express. Passion for the music business is a passion for creating life-changing experiences for fans. You know the way you feel when you hear your favorite artist release a new song or you see them in concert? That fire that ignites in your soul? Your job as a music professional is to create that experience for as many people around the world, for as many artists as possible, all the time. And there is no tried and true formula for doing that. Every artist is different, every song, every album, every video, all of it is different, and every fan is different. Getting all those elements to align in such a way that it creates a wildfire of energy and excitement is very, very difficult. And it's something that everybody in music is trying to do all the time, which only makes it harder and harder to perfect. People that are hiring want people that could be lifers. And when I say lifers, I mean somebody who's in this till the day they put them in the grave. Somebody that wants to work in music until the day they die, and who understand that it's going to be hard, it's going to be taxing, and it might be more frustrating than it is fun on some occasions. But at the end of the day, you're still in it because you understand how alive you feel when you connect with music, and you want to make other people feel that way. So if you find yourself in a position where you can get a job interview, or if you're applying for a job, emphasize your education, emphasize your experience, but also talk about your passion. Don't talk about a specific artist necessarily or a life-changing concert experience. Those can be helpful, especially in interviews where people can see how you react physically to the story that you're telling. But talk about your passion for the industry itself, for the business of music. Talk about why it's important to you that people feel the way you feel about music. Not even about the artist that you love, but any music at all. Talk about your desire to make people have those life-changing experiences that music has given you. And if you can do that, you will find work in this industry. Now that's all the time that I have today, but real quick, please click the subscribe button down below. We create a ton of content here at Music Biz, and it's not easy, and it's certainly not cheap, and we want you to continue to help us build this audience. So all you have to do is click that button. I also want to encourage you to check out our sponsor. Music Biz is brought to you by Haulix, the industry standard for music promotion. And Haulix is giving every one of our viewers a free 1-month trial of their service. Just look at the description below and click the link. People like Chance the Rapper, Metallica, Blink-182, and thousands more trust Haulix for their promotional needs, and you should too. So please, click that link and give them a visit. And finally, whether you do those things or you don't do those things, at the very least, take care of yourself because you deserve it.